saw him earlier. There he is. You know, Andre has a couple of great contributions to the club. He is what I consider someone who always introduces fresh ideas, and he always never fails to bring bagels to our meeting. So Andre is getting a bagel gift certificate and our appreciation for all those bagels that you provided to the board for our meetings. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. And for those who are continuing on in their tenure as directors, I'd like to recognize them as well. In addition to Doug and Bruce and Harriet, Allison Clark Artistic. Thank you, Allison. Carol Duncan, great addition to the board today, this year. Phil Gerber. Phil. Kesa Lamontagne. And Earl Wright. Let's give them a round of applause. For our committee chairs, where so much of our work gets done and our goodwill gets passed, I would like to recognize them, but I just want them to stand briefly when I say your name. We'll remain standing and we'll give you a round of applause. And for club services, that would be Jim White. Jim, please stand. Communications is Irena Buckley Hopkins. For Denver Center for International Studies is Randy Dunn. For our meetings is Doug McLemore. I told you he wears so many hats in the club. For membership is Will Snyder. For the TNT new membership class is Don Lewis. There's none. Rotary Foundation support is Jim Johnston. Rotary International Programs, Peg Johnston. Yes, they are related. Runs in the family, huh, Peg? Social Activities, the none other than Jay Yake. And World Community Service, John Stewart. And youth service, you're getting your exercise today, darling. And youth services, Deb Demuth. And of course, our Centennial Committee headed up by Andre Van Hall. Please stand, let's give them a round of applause as well. And now, I'd like to recognize, one of the things that allows us to give gifts and give services, those where we have our successful fundraisers. Our largest, of course, is Branch Rickey, headed up this year by none other than Donna Holstein. Donna, please stand. Where's Donna? Could you come up, Donna, and get your gift? And Jim McGivney, Development. Where are you, Jim? Is Jim? Okay. And then, of course, for our peach and pitch, J.A. is the pitch. Don't let me get that the right order. J.A. is the pitch. Carol Duncan is the peach. So, stand to be recognized. Thank you very much. Let's give them all a round of applause. I also like to acknowledge our DRCF president, Chuck Thompson. Chuck, could you stand? Is Chuck here? Okay, well, Chuck has done a great job, and that whole board has done a great job. And also would be remiss if I did not mention the great staff we have with Darlene Mass, Jamie DeMitch, Holland Stallwell, and Steve Embers. And I happen to have a few gifts for you. Could you please come in? One of you at least come up and grab these. These are called my James Bond pens because they look like ink pens, but they're really USB drives. But they do have ink and they do write as well. So thank you, Darlene. Thank you, Sam. Let's give them a round of applause. I also like to thank our Sergeant at Arms hospitality team, which lead us for 53 years. Perfect attendance, ladies and gentlemen. That's got to be. And Jim McLemore, where's Jim at? I just saw him. There you go, Jim. And I also would like to take this moment to invite Tom Rogers to come up for a special presentation for Fred Taylor, who has been doing an outstanding job as Sergeant of Arms for all these years. Tom?
Thank you, Roland. A debt of gratitude is owed by Club 31 to a very unselfish, civic-minded lady who has repeatedly sacrificed her plans so that her spouse, our very own longtime Sergeant at Arms, Fred Taylor, can always be with us at these Thursday lunches. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join me in an appreciative recognition and thank you to Jean Taylor. It's now time for us to recognize, celebrate the contributions of Club 31's very own head cat wrangler, Fred, don't forget your badge, Taylor. Fred has served 18 presidents as our Sergeant at Arms, starting, I'm proud to say, with me in 1992. Wow. These past presidents are going to escort Fred up here right now. I need to tell you a little story. Right before the luncheon, I overheard Fred and Jean talking, and Fred said to Jean, Jean, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think they'd be recognizing me for 18 years of Sergeant at Arms? And Jean looked at Fred and said, Fred, you're not even in my wildest dreams. Fred has served 18 different presidents, and a number of us that are here today are behind me right now. And there have been a half a dozen different executive directors. During those 18 years, which represents about 936 meetings, he's shaken maybe 250,000 hands, walked about 250 miles around the ballroom, being sure that everything is all ready and set and shipshape for our meetings. I'd like to point out that before those 18 years, Fred spent the previous 12 years, from 1980 to 1992, studying at the Armin P. Thiebass Charm School, 12 years as the assistant to Pete. Now, he joined the club in 1974. That would be the middle picture. He spent the first 6 years of his career trying to learn how to glue on that caterpillar to his upper lip. Now, and I failed to mention, those 36 years old, by the way, Fred has perfect attendance. Thank you, Jean.